Hello, welcome to another episode of the Peelerz Podcast, where we talk the nitty gritty and pretty side of stripping. I have a special guest with me today.
Anya Woods.
Again, and we have Buckley, like always.
Like always.
All right, a little fucking puppy mascot. She needs a little shirt. You need a shirt.
Oh yeah, nice little green shirt.
Go lay down. This episode doesn't really have much of a topic. We're just here to gib and gab, to bitch and moan, because you've been gone for quite some time. Again.
Yeah, I mean, I got back for, I think it was just over 10 days. It was like 11 days. And then I immediately took off and went to Dominican. That was the only reason I came back from Thailand, actually. It was because I got a family trip to Dominican, which, to be completely honest, I didn't love Dominican. That was a bit hard to like go from being somewhere that I loved so much to somewhere that I was like, oh, hate this.
Yeah, because it's like resort instead of...
Yeah.
Like you like the backpack. You like experiencing where you're going, right?
I feel like I like that now. I used to get so fucking annoyed of people that are like, I'm not a resort person. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I go to hostels.
Just lay down on the beach and relax, please. Like, just shut up. Like, I used to get so mad at people that did that because I used to travel with them. My ex's brother would do that. So my brother-in-law would do that all the time. And I'm just like, him and his fiance would just always do it. It was so annoying. It would drive me up the wall. But then I became that person. I don't really like sitting beside. I can only drink and eat and sit by a pool for so long I'm like, I just want to go experience the culture.
Mm-hmm. And the drinks usually fucking suck.
The food in Dominican is disgusting.
Well, I think just resort food. I've never been to a resort with good food.
Really?
But I'm cheap.
And you know what? To be fair, this resort wasn't like a 5-star resort. It was a 4-star, so I was expecting it not to be as shitty as it was. Like, this resort was honestly like closer to a 2-star. It was bad, and so
that's probably how your mom afforded bringing like
all of us. Like,
all of us.
Like, bless my fucking parents. Like, I sound like an ungrateful little brat. But yeah, my whole family got to go. There's 8 of us, and they paid for it for Christmas. Like, she's in debt. For sure.
Love you, Mom.
Yeah, love you, Mom. Thank you so much for racking up your credit card for take us all to Dominican for Christmas. Thank you so much. I'm sorry that I was so ungrateful for it. But yeah, it was really hard because it was 2 weeks at a resort that I didn't really love. Because like to go to Mexico with my friends or even my family, it's easy to sit by a pool, eat the shitty food, get drunk every other day or even every day. So easy. Because then you go on an excursion or two, or you at least go into town. But 2 weeks was a long fucking time.
So if you're single Pringle, who's in your room with you? Sibling?
Oh my God, my youngest sister.
Are you the oldest?
I am, yeah, out of 4.
Who decided
Baby
that?
Woods. Well, because we're both single.
Oh,
so it
okay,
made sense because my brother brought his girlfriend and my sister brought her boyfriend. And they've both been dating these people forever. Like, they're a part of the family.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what would have happened if I still had a partner. I actually don't know what they would have done with my little sister. But she's like not a baby. She's 21, but you know what? The oldest and the youngest were the 2 that clashed the most. I love my family to death, but being stuck in a room with your sibling, you could ask her too. She goes to my other sister. She's like, even her laugh is pissing me off. And then I go to my sister. I'm like, oh yeah, her laugh, my laugh. I was like, the way she breathes pisses me off.
Is this the little one that her birthday was at Shade and she cried when she met me?
I don't know.
Which one was that?
I think we've only ever celebrated Rihanna's birthday at Shade. So yeah, it would have been that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's really funny. I didn't know she cried when she met you. That's
Sweet
so
girl.
funny.
Yeah, sweet girl.
That's so funny. But yeah, I think they've just seen you on my social media so much, and like they watch all the stripper Olympics. So to see you in person is probably pretty cool for the first time.
I'm just like your sister, bro.
Yeah, so funny. It's like I'm a normal person, normal people here.
Well, hell yeah. Well, came back with a new uplifted spirit again, or
no. This time I got so depressed when I was in Dominican. I slept, I think, for longer than I was awake because I was just really depressed. Like my family was like, "Are you okay?" Because I was just sleeping the whole time, and I got so depressed. And I haven't cried about my ex in like 6 months. I haven't texted him or cried about him, and I didn't text him right away.
No.
I texted my friend first, and she's like, don't text him. Like, you don't miss him. You miss the feeling and blah, blah, blah. All the things that the good friends say, right?
Yeah.
So it helped me for like a day. And then I texted him that I was like, I miss you. I still think about you.
Oh, no.
I still love you.
Oh, no. So, did he reply?
He did reply, and that's the most annoying thing is that he's so fucking nice. Like, he literally said all the things I want him to say. Like, I miss you too. I still think about you. I still love you. And I'm just like, yeah. So I don't fucking know, dude. Like, I spiraled so hard, and then now it's still over me. I go out with my friends. The day I get back, I'm like, I need to go out with my friends because I'm in such a low depression that I need to go out with my friends. So I came home Friday morning and I went out Friday night. And then my one friend is like, oh, since you're over him.
Oh, no.
And the friend behind me is the one that I had texted, and her face went white. And she's like, she's trying to signal to my other friend, like, no, she's not. She's fucking not over him. She's like, funny story, my teammate is seeing him. And I was like, immediately start crying. Just immediately start crying.
No. Oh, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. And I was just like, so funny how this world is so small. Thank you so much, babe, for telling me that.
Oh, fuck, man.
Like, I have never, like, even just talking about it, my heart is racing so fast and hard. And I just like, fuck, dude. Like, I don't want to picture that. I don't want to see
And then
that.
why would he say all that shit, though? Like,
because I don't think that she said, she's like, they're not seeing each other anymore.
oh, okay.
Still, though, and like, even if they were, I can't see, this is just me assuming, I can't see him being in another relationship because he's in the military and he's getting deployed. So that's the whole reason he won't get back together with me is because I fucking broke up with him because he was deployed. Like, I was the fucking asshole. And he doesn't want that to happen to him again. That's my perspective on it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it just sucked hearing that. I was just like, cool, that is not. Immediately cried. And then the whole table, because there was like 5 of us, were just like, I can't believe Anya's crying about this again. And then I just haven't been okay since. I've been upset about this whole situation since. Like, not the fact that he's seeing other people. Obviously, we've been broken up for a year. A fucking year, Corella.
I know. I mean, Frenchie, it's been fucking 5-6 months, and it's still, if someone told me, I'd be upset. I know he's seeing other people. He's a very slutty man. Yeah.
Are. Like, and that's the thing is, like, so am I. That night, I went home with someone from the bar. And then my friends are like, oh, but make sure Tim's not messaging anybody else. And I'm like, or seeing anybody else. I'm like, it's not that. It's like, I sleep with other people, and I'm like on the dating apps and stuff because I can't be with him.
Yeah.
I was like, he fucking chooses not to be with me, and that is so hard. Like, my ego just can't handle it.
Oh, my God. No, I get it. No, that's... Especially with the back and the forth, like the I love you back, I miss you too. Fuck, that guts me just hearing that.
I know.
Yeah, like, I'm really glad that my ex isn't doing that. He does say the I miss you shit, but like, really glad he's not doing that because it would make it a lot worse. Like, holy fuck, that'd suck.
He doesn't reach out to me. Like, I only reach out to him, and he takes like all day to reply, but then he always will. Always will. And that night I also drunk texted him. So that was cool. Ooh. I told him about how I cried about him sleeping with somebody else.
Did you say anything?
Yeah, he replied, and he's like, I'm so sorry that I provoked that. I'm like, don't say sorry. Like, I'm literally so pathetic for texting you that. Like, I'm shaking my head. Like, you didn't provoke it. Like, you're just living your life.
So when you, is this all through Snapchat, or are you actually messaging him so you can't delete it?
No, I'm actually messaging him on, like, text.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, I promised myself just Instagram, so the next day I can be like, delete. Ooh, that never happened.
I have done that before, but then he messages me and he's like, are you okay? He always asks. He always still messages me because he'll see that I said something.
Oh, goddamn.
I know. It's just so crazy that I went from being so on such a high in Thailand and like feeling so free and so happy that I'm single because I'm getting to do all these things. Like, literally, I talked to you 2 weeks ago on this podcast and I just had nothing but good things to say about being single and how I fucking hate men. And then I'm crying about my ex still. Like, I want to ram my head into a fucking wall.
Well, It's grieving. You're grieving a relationship. It's going to have its ups and its downs, which fucking suck. And that's why everyone says like, no contact is the only way.
Yeah.
It is, which almost, I don't even know what's harder. Is this harder? Is actually never speaking to them again harder?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, and he fucking says, he's like, you never know what the future holds for us. And I'm like, no! Just tell me you never want to be with me again.
Get out of me. No, no. Oh my God, no.
Like, and it's so crazy because it gives me that glimmer of hope. And I don't know if it's real or not.
Oh.
Because, like, when I broke up with that guy of 8 years, I gave him no hope. It's like, dude, I'm done.
We're done. Yeah.
I'm so done. Like, no. And he's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. So it sucks knowing that he's not sure. And that, the fact, why would you bother to tell me that you miss me and you love me and you think about me if, like, you're not sure, right? Like, it's just, like, such a fucking toxic game.
Do you think he thinks it's a game, or do you think he's just trying to play nice?
He doesn't think it's a game. He's not like that. He's so sweet. And that's why I have such a hard time getting over him, because he's, like, so nice.
And, like, compared to the 8-year guy, he was kind of a dick in the end, so.
Yeah, and that's what my best friend says. She says, she's like, I don't even think it was Tim that fucked you up, that breakup. She's like, it's the fact that Tim checked 6 out of the 10 boxes after someone treated you like a dick. Like, sorry, someone was a dick to you. Someone treated you so shitty. And then the next guy that you were with checked majority of your boxes, and was super nice to you. But in reality, is not your person. And it's true, he's not. I don't want to be in a long-distance relationship. I don't want someone that's never around.
Is he going to be I don't know how it works. Does he serve until a certain amount of years, or, like, how does...
They re-sign contracts and stuff, so...
It's up to him, really?
Yeah, and he can get out. I think it takes, like, 6 months for them to get out.
Oh, wow.
So, once he says that I want to quit, it'll take, like, 6 months to get out. But he's getting deployed again. He's going to be gone for 6 months, so...
Fuck.
Yeah, so it's just, like, I kind of just want him to leave the country, because I think that's another reason when I was in Thailand, I'm like... I couldn't be with him if I wanted to. I'm in a different country.
It really does help when they move, when they are in a different city, just knowing that you're not going to run into them. Like, I hate that worry of, like,
oh, man,
my ex is going to end up with someone like me, because the alternative, like, he likes that, you know?
Yeah,
like, I'm
the tattooed baddies.
And I'm just worried within this, like, the circle is small. I'm worried that one day I'm going to be going through someone's story and there's my fucking ex with another dancer or...
Oof.
Someone else, and I don't know. I don't think, in the nicest way, I don't think he has the decency not to do that.
Yeah.
I would never do that to him. I would never go for one of his friends. They're in my DMs, I promise you that. Promise you. So many of them are in my DMs. But I would never actually do it.
Yeah.
But I have that fucking fear for sure, and it'll gut me.
Yeah, of course it would. I have that fear. Like, I want to move downtown, and there's a gym that I like going to downtown, and he goes to that gym, and he's going to be in all those different, like, pubs and restaurants and stuff, and it's just like, I don't.
And all the hotties go to that gym, don't they?
I love that gym, and I just avoid it like the plague, because I know he's there.
Oh, goddamn. Goddamn. Well, does he leave soon?
He leaves in June.
I don't know my months.
We got another two months.
Okay, that's...
Well, three, March, April, May. We're going to have to put another edit being like, this is actually...
Another time that we knew nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But we have, like, another 3 months that I've got to
avoid
get
him
through. Yeah.
Well, you got it. You got it. I hope Tim doesn't take that as an opportunity to get back with you.
He's the one person in my life that the drop of a hat, I'd be back together with him.
You know that TikTok that like, oh yeah, every girl has that one guy? Yeah. That, like, if they were to message them, I don't.
You don't have that, really?
No, I've been kind of in contact with every single one of my exes. Like,
which is crazy to me. I don't know how you keep in contact with them.
I don't know either. Like, recently, I'll tell you this story later, but recently one came back into my life. But yeah, there's parts of every single one of them that I wish was in one man.
Yeah, I just can, combine them.
Yeah, exactly.
I also feel that. Mm-hmm. Like, every guy that you've been with, like, you liked them for certain reasons.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
Okay, but wait, you said a guy an ex came back into your life?
Not the one that we think either. And everyone, this is going to be a surprise for all the viewers because I tweet everything, but I've been trying not to tweet anything anymore.
So it's not your most recent ex?
Not my most recent ex. This is an ex from 2 years, 3 years ago? Long time ago. Because we were together when I was handing the crown down for the Stripper Olympics.
Oh, shit.
So 2021, technically 22.
Was it to me?
I
think so.
Yes, because you gave it to Molina. Yeah, I was giving it to you. Holy fuck, yeah. That's how long ago.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's when we were together. So, long time ago. We're going to call him Tony. Every one of my exes that is kind of a shitty guy. There's Tony. He's Tony. Okay? Tony. So, Tony doesn't have social media. Tony has an illegal job. And that's why he does not have any kind of social media at all. He just, when he disappeared from my life, he literally disappeared. And I really knew I was going to run into him because we don't do anything together at all. Like, he doesn't do the same hobbies as me. He doesn't go to the gym. There's never a chance that we're going to run into each other. But I randomly get a Facebook message, and it's from Tony. So I open it, and it's just a phone number. It just says, hey, phone number. And I'm like, this is going to be good. I need podcast material. This is going to be great. And I did not think it was going to be this intense at all. So go back. Me and this ex, when we are fighting about getting things back from each other or just things that happened or going through typical breakup things, he would always make fun of me for very specific things, mostly having like autism or face tattoos or being a stripper. And I would always make fun of his hemorrhoids because it was funny. And it was just like, LOL, hemorrhoids. I don't know. It was easy to make fun of him for it.
It's a little bit of a toxic thing.
Yeah, you know, we were very toxic. He was definitely someone that if I wanted to just say something, I knew I could say it because like it would never top the shit he said to me. Like,
fair.
He said some fucked up shit, and I would just be like, hemorrhoids, and that's all I'd say. And the last thing he texted me was like, oh, I may be able to get rid of my hemorrhoids, but you'll always have autism. And I'm like, I don't even think that's an insult, but okay. But
yeah,
like,
fine.
Sick, awesome.
Good luck with hemorrhoids, dude.
I'm like, yeah, good luck with your hemorrhoids, you know, LOL. Because he was very open about how uncomfortable his hemorrhoids made him.
Oh my God, I can't imagine anything sexier. A guy complaining about his itchy asshole.
Yeah, oh God. So now we know that much about him. He opens up to me in text because I'm just like, hi. And he automatically knew it was me, which makes me assume that he knew my number. So why wouldn't he just text me? Why did he have to do the whole Facebook thing? Anyway, I digress. Tells me how he did get his hemorrhoids removed. They went in for a biopsy and he has very severe colon cancer. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Like, did he tell you more?
Oh, yeah. Like we chatted for quite some time because I was just like, fuck. Like, I can't just be like, haha, hemorrhoids, bye. Like, you can't do that to someone who might be dying, right? Like,
yeah.
and I don't know if it is that severe, but it is to the point where it was coming out of him and they are doing radiation and chemotherapy and everything.
Well, also, cancer is deadly. Mm-hmm. So, and you cared about that person. So it makes sense that you would actually want to like ask if he's okay. And like, you know, if he wants to tell you about it, like be there.
Yeah. And he just kind of was like very like open and funny about it. Like he was very much joking about it all the time. But he just found it comical how like, he's like, wow, like I was like really shitty to people. Like, no wonder I got it. And like, that's a really fucking dark way to think. I don't think anyone should be getting cancer in any way to learn a lesson. That's fucked up. But for him to have that, like, finally have that look on the inside and been like, wow, I've been really shitty to people. Like, no wonder something shitty happened to me. I'm like, oh, that's like a positive kind of way to look at it. Maybe if you become positive, the outcome will become positive.
I don't think it's a bad way to look at it. I don't think that it's a great punishment for someone to be like, well, of course they were a shitty person, but for someone to look inward and be like, I can learn and now I sympathize with what I've done. Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty cool of someone to... Yeah.
And at the time, he had caused a lot of drama with me and two friends. And I'm bringing those two friends on the podcast soon. We're going to see them. And I was just like, I just want to know... I was like, let's meet up. I want to talk in person, in face to face. Like, see what he looks like, how he's doing. Is he still, like, the last time I seen him, he was very fucked up on drugs. And it was, like, out of nowhere. And he had this random obsession with me when I started dating that French dude. just like was showing up at my door out of nowhere, been broken up for like a year and a half.
Oh my God.
Wanted to be with me, was like, I'm going to go to therapy. Here's my dentist bill. I'm going to get my tooth removed like how you wanted for an engagement ring. And it was like manic and crazy, and he was on drugs and like it was fucked up. So I wanted to see if that was like still the case. Seemed sober, all that stuff. He looked skinnier. He still had a butt ton of hair, but he hasn't started radiation. So I don't know when that happens and whatnot. But I was just like, I want to talk to you about like all the shit that happened between like all of us. Cause like, I'm still confused. He's just like, honestly, I was so fucked up on perks, and he's like, I was so fucked up and so much was going on and everything. He's like, I don't even know what I was honest about and what I wasn't. And he just opened up about how like, he's like, I couldn't pinpoint exactly when I was telling you the truth or not. And I was like, that's nice to know, because a lot of it was like, oh my God, was the whole thing fake? And it was. Not like, oh my God, the feelings, we had feelings for each other, obviously, but there was a lot of things behind the scene that he was definitely playing games, and he was very good at manipulation. He even gave me books on like psychology and how to work the room and how to be a manipulative person, thinking it'd help me hustle. But then when I read the books, I was like, there's so many of these tactics he's used on me. Yeah. You know? So it was this like a weird, like, fucking, I can't even describe the feeling. Like I called my mom and my mom cried. She's like, are you going to be there for him? Like, this must be so hard on you. And I'm like, why is it going to be hard on me? He's a young guy. We're all hoping for the best. He's like probably going to recover. I'm, you know, hoping this does not go sideways at all. Going to keep a positive outlook on it, but like odd to take that feeling on out of nowhere. Just like, hey, you haven't thought of this person in forever. And now he didn't make amends for anything. He didn't really apologize. We just talked about it. Yeah. Yeah. And it took a turn for something weird, because in my head, there's nothing left for him. Not like life-wise. Jesus Christ, that's dark. But I mean, feelings towards him. Like, obviously...
Yeah, those are gone.
They're gone. The romantic feelings are gone.
And you talking to him and seeing him face to face, like nothing came back at all?
Nothing, no lingering. No, he didn't try and kiss me. Not like between the both of us, it seemed very friendly. We just smoked a joint in the car, and he gave me some of his mom's pesto, and like I drove him to the weed store because he can't drive now or something. Yeah, nothing there at all. And in his head, I think there was something else going on, because he was like, oh, I want to chat again. So I'm sure from this time to this time I'm available. And then he randomly ghosts me out of nowhere. Just like didn't answer my messages. So it's around 3 or 4 when he's supposed to come over. So I give him a call. My number's blocked. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, super weird. So I just pretend like nothing, whatever. And then suddenly I get a message from his old number being like, oh, sorry, I lost that phone. And now I have this. I'm like, oh, back to these weird fucking like up and down games and this and that. And I was just like, you know, if you're with a girl or have a girlfriend, like it's completely fine, because like we're obviously never going to get back together. Yeah. And then he flipped out on me. I was like, what do you mean? Like, why the fuck would you message me and this and that? And I'm like, I thought you were like opening up to people because of your recent diagnosis. But
yeah, and like one of those like AA things where you have to go like repent type thing. Yeah.
And I was just very taken aback because there was no romantic, no like, even our text messages were very dry and stuff, like nothing. And he probably is seeing someone. He's an attractive, manipulative person. It's probably someone in his life, especially if you have to block my number. You're doing something weird, that's for sure. You're not being faithful to whatever the fuck is happening. So I was just like, the fuck, did he use his diagnosis to try and get me back in his life? Or is everything he said a fucking lie? Is he really feeling a certain way? I don't know. I've never had a more manipulative, confusing person in my life.
Yeah, that actually sounds wild. Mm-hmm. Oh, also, I love how your mom is just like, are you going to be there for him? Because my mom is like the exact same way. Yeah. They act like it's their boyfriend or they dated them. Yeah. Like when you tell them you broke up with somebody, they're just like, I think they're more heartbroken than you are generally. Which is so wild. When I told my mom how I like broke down and like texted him, she goes, sometimes you just have to follow your heart. I'm like, what? Mom! But I'm like, I am. He doesn't want me though. He doesn't want anything to do with me. Sorry, Mom. I am following my heart. I'm texting him.
No, my mom's done the same too because she full on witnessed a boyfriend yell at me in front of her. Buckley, go to your bed. My mom witnessed a guy yell at me in front of her, and I was like, this is just the beginning of the relationship. Like, it got really shitty in the end. COVID boyfriend, so it's not like you could just dump him. Like, at that time in your life, you had to stay with the person you're with.
Because you're, like, living together. Like, where are they going to go?
Exactly. And every time that he would reach out and want to get back together, my mom would always be like, oh, like, how do you feel? Do you think? I'm like, Mom, I need you to be like, you are making a mistake as your mother. You are doing wrong. Learn from me. I am your mother. But my mom's just like, you should love them.
Yeah. When I broke up with my 8-year relationship, it took my family, like, I was in Australia, so it was almost a year that I had broken up with him. He was still coming over for fucking family dinners. I wasn't even there. I was like, cool, guys. Like, this is wild. And they asked if I was okay. Actually, they asked post if I was cool with it. And I was like, you guys do whatever the fuck you want. He's out of my life. I'm not home. I don't care. You guys are fucked.
Well, back in the day, like, relationships were like, you had to make it work, right?
Yeah.
But no, not anymore. Oh, God. Family dinner. Fuck no.
I think my mom was also just, like, really hoping that we'd get back together. And then she was so concerned about me. I remember when I moved to Kelowna after I broke up with him, she goes, I hope you know what you're doing. And she, like, holds my hands while she says that. And I was like, oh, my God. I'm moving to Kelowna. I'm not, like, come on. It's not the end of the world.
They just care so much. It's just, everything was so fucking different back then, right? Like, going to Kelowna would be a huge fucking deal back then, especially single.
Maybe. Yeah. My mom, I'm sure she was super worried about me. Actually, my whole family thought I was going through, like, a midlife crisis. But that was the happiest I've ever been. When I left my 8-year relationship, that's the happiest I have ever fucking been in my life. I wasn't hung up on anybody.
Yeah.
A huge weight was lifted off my shoulders. That was the best version of me. And I miss that a lot. I wish I could get back to that. Because that was, like, the best fucking version of me. I was glowing. I was attracting, like, such good energy from people. People could see how much I was glowing. I was making so much fucking money on stage because I was just being, like, my hot, slutty, bad bitch self. Like,
the world was your oyster.
It was, like, and I miss that so fucking much. Like, have you ever felt like you've had that or lost that?
I feel like right now, and I'm not jinxing it, I have wood right here to knock on. I feel like right now I don't have feelings or attachment to anyone. That, like, whole TikTok where it's like, you have one person. Like, no, if my phone were to ring and that person were like, hey, let's get back together, there's not one person. I'm not chasing anyone. I'm not on any dating sites. And it seems like my life is just, and I hope it's still going that way. Like, I'm in a good mood. My show's doing great. Work's going great. Household is going great. You know?
Yeah.
I just feel like if I interrupt it with love, and this is bad because I don't want to be asking the universe not to grant me love, but, like, I'm almost worried to date again because of how much it slows me down.
Yeah.
How much it depresses me, how much their mood affects me, how much their validation affects me. And I want to deal with all those attachment issues and everything first before ever letting a man, again, affect my life, especially so negatively when they didn't give me anything.
That's so true. And we did talk about that the last time. And, okay, so I've been on, like, the dating apps because I'm basically just, like, trying to fuck the pain away. Like, I just, you know that thing where there's, like, you have to get under someone to get over someone? No. If it's bad, it makes you miss them more. Especially when the last person, like, Tim was the best sex of my fucking life. So it's, like, so hard to, like, compare to that. And so every time I sleep with somebody else, I'm just like, well, I really still miss him.
Was the first time good too? Like, was it off the hop amazing?
Yes. Seriously, it felt like, this sounds so fucking stupid, but I remember thinking this. I was just like, I feel like I've known you before. Like, I felt so comfortable with him, and, like, there was so much, like, it was just incredible. Like, our souls, like, I knew him in a past life for sure.
Have you ever had a past life reading?
Yes, and they've all said it. But I knew that going in there, that I have a soul connection to him, and that's why I'm so hung up on him as well. But where the fuck was I going? Yeah, yes, that was the best sex of my fucking life, and it's so hard to, like, get over someone by getting under somebody else because it doesn't work when it's not comparable.
Yeah. I have yet to get under anyone. But next vlog you see on the YouTube channel, I'm trying to get a one-night stand in Fort Mac.
Ew, in Fort Mac?
They're tattooed. They're hot. They're out of my city. They probably have money. I'm going there for only one night, so it's not like I have to see them day after. But, like, I just thought it'd be someone that's, like, out of contact, not going to see them again. I'm going to be drinking. We're partying with Kirill. You know, like, everyone I'm going to be around with is kind of having a slutty night. And I'm like, I don't want to be alone. I'm not going to the dancer house by myself. You know, I'm going to actually try and maybe meet someone.
That feeling is actually fun. So when you're not being a hoe because you're heartbroken, you're doing it because you want to be, is actually super empowering. And I love that.
I need sex, man. It's been months.
It's so, it's so good when it's that. I love that feeling of just being in control of that and being like, I want to do this. I want to get laid. Like, you just thinking like a guy.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
And the club's going to be busy. So even if, like, the people on Tinder don't work out, I'm sure there's going to be other tattooed hot people. It's Fort Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just going to go on Tinder and then put my kilometers to 1. Because it just shows you everyone close. Yeah.
Like, right there.
Right. Hey, right, left. Yeah. Nonstop.
Every time I think about how I'm sad that I'm single, I think about everybody that's in a relationship and how unhappy they are.
No tea there. Yeah. That's
and it's not necessarily that they're unhappy. It's like they constantly tell me, I wish I would have taken more time to be single. I wish I would have done the things that you've done. I wish I would have got like had one night stands and like hooked up with really hot guys and hooked up with some not so hot guys and, you know, like had those fun experiences. Like I've talked to so many people in long-term relationships that are very much just like, I'm living vicariously through you. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I was in an 8-year relationship, how much I missed that freedom as well and how much I envied people that were single. Yeah. So I really need to remember that. And Phoenix Lina also said something to me that I've been trying to like circulate in my head, that if it's like, if it was meant for you, it never would have passed you. Mm-hmm. Like it will stay in your life.
Yeah.
And like true love never leaves. But then the Delulu in my head is like, he messages me back and tells me that he loves me.
But that's like, I'm like, when do we call it delusion? Because if he's straight up saying, I miss you too, it's not delusion. If he were to be like, oh, sweetie, and that's it.
Yeah, or
then
like
it would
just
be,
not reply or like, you know.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, it's fucking hell. It's so bad. My head is like a mess.
Yeah, no, I get it. I really need to do no contact with my recent ex. Just the back and forth.
Oh, yeah. Even like with friends, though, like when you have friends that are manipulative like that, it's just like not good in your life. Mm-hmm. Like whether or not you have feelings for this guy at all, it's just like, it's another responsibility, like taking space in your head.
Yeah.
And in your emotions.
And every time that like there is like a tweet that I'm going on a date or like I talk about something on the podcast or even the last night, the girls were coming up to me, hey, a bald guy with head tattoos is looking for you downstairs. And I'm like, oh God. And I messaged him being like, hey, are you at Shade? And he's like, no, what do you mean? I was like, oh, just someone who looks like he was looking for me. And he's like, well, I don't want to know. And gets jealous. And I'm like, have we not gone over this 7 times that apparently we're not getting back together? His words and also mine. Like he has said that to me a plethora of times of how we're probably never going to get back together and we should just get over it kind of thing. So like, why the fuck would you be jealous? Like, why do you want that hold on me? Why do you care what I'm doing? And why do you only care when it's happening? He's seeing other women. He's lied to me multiple times, been caught in these lies. No admission, no apology, no nothing, but like.
It's an ego thing though.
It sucks.
Yeah, it's totally an ego thing that like most of us have.
Yeah.
So it's just like, why, how could you possibly be with anybody but me? How could you be thinking about people? Like, you just don't want to picture it. Like, no, because I felt that before. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think it is just an ego thing. And it's something that some people choose to work on, but it is something really, really hard to work through. Yeah.
It sucks, too, because I don't have anyone to, I'm not going to say rub in his face, but, like, to be accused. Sorry, you can hear my bird.
Screech is wild today.
Screech is like, ah!
Yeah, she's pissed.
He's gotten mad at me and jealous when I should have been doing that because, you know, like I've even gotten videos sent to me of like him on dates with other girls, of my friends being like, aren't you dating him? And I'm like, no, but we were going to get back together, but now we're not, blah, blah, blah. And like, I had every right to be the one freaking out or upset or jealous. And I've never had that. And is to me. And I don't even, like, I've kissed one dude since we broke up, you know, like there's nothing for him to be getting this jealous and possessive over. And I should be feeling the way he is acting or whatever. I don't know. It's just unfair. I'm going to always have this resentment to him too.
Yeah.
So I just should fucking stop no contact. And I know that this whole fucking podcast is going to make him feel some kind of way.
Yeah.
But
you're giving him the spotlight there by talking about him.
I know. Yeah. But oh well, it's not like I'm saying overly nice things. It's to the point where I can't say this to his face, so I'm going to say it now. He needs to work on himself. He needs to give me an apology that I haven't asked for. And then I will never say these things again. When you show me that you've worked on yourself and you want to be a better person, even if it's not towards me and it's towards someone else, admission of what you did, saying like, oh, that must have made you feel so-and-so, any of this, progress on yourself,
self-accountability
would make me feel a lot better and would make how you seem in the spotlight a lot better. But for now, if we're talking about exes, this is exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes that like bitterness away and that like resentment towards them.
Yeah. And like, it was nice talking to Tony because it took away a lot of those like questions and everything. And like, it just solidified like, okay, he's still pretty shit. He might be going through shit right now that doesn't excuse the shit that he's gone through, but like through and through, he's the same person. Wasn't really my fault. He was lying to me.
Yeah, it's validating.
It's validating, but yeah.
It's nice to know that you're right.
Yeah, I don't want to be right. And then it makes you think like, what's wrong with me? Why do I keep picking guys like this?
Man, yeah, that's another thing. It's just like how I can't relate because I haven't been in very many relationships, but yeah, that would. I think you see the benefit, like you give them the benefit of the doubt, you know.
I do that with friends too. I should start doing that.
I don't know. Like you definitely do that. I have noticed that the people that in your life sometimes like this is gonna be controversial. I think some people date down and have friends that are like maybe not to the standard of where they are, and like meaning like the type of work they've done on themselves and like just the way that like you hold yourself and hold a conversation and stuff like that. It has nothing to do with like you're better than them. It's just like the state that you're in. Like, you know, like if you hang out with people that, I don't know, like let's just say you started hanging out with people that are investors. You're going to start thinking about investing, you know, but if you start hanging out with people that just smoke weed all day and don't do anything, then maybe you're going to start being lazy too.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like that. And I feel you might not be hanging out with like people that just smoke weed all day, but that's kind of like where I'm drawing the comparison to. It's like you're the investor.
Yeah. People
hang out with you to become better. You need to hang out with people that you deem as like you look up to.
I don't challenge myself at all in friendships. That's like the number one thing I talk to my therapist about is why do I keep surrounding myself with people who I'm not trying to be mean when I say this. What's a better word? I don't know. People that I view as lesser.
Yeah, they're the people that make you lazy.
They're meaner. They're not doing stuff. They really want to ride my coattails, or like there's like, I don't know, this, and these aren't people that have recently been in my life. I'm not trying to call out literally anyone, but I just noticed that like it happens to me a lot with very impressionable people. They will come to me and be like, I just have to hang out with Kraken to be where she is. And then I have to stop letting those people try and come in my life
it's okay to have those people in your life. I just don't think that you should keep them as close.
Yes.
And you should have other people in your life that inspire you.
Absolutely.
You know, and if someone is getting that close to you and they don't inspire you in any way, then it's like you gotta like kind of cut off the ties before it gets too.
Absolutely. Yeah. They drag you down, and you are who you hang out with. And I was actually because I did have a friend recently who started a lot of drama in the industry, and that drama leaked into my personal life, and it started some fights with me and other girls that I didn't want to fight with, but because she thought a certain way, they thought I thought a certain way. So like you go down with who you hang out with, that's for sure. And I wanted to talk to her. I was on the lineup with her last week. Never got a chance to be alone with her, sadly. I'm hoping this week I actually get a chance to corner her and just be like, fuck, I'm sorry, man. Because even when I found out that she didn't like me, I responded like how that friend would have. I freaked out, being like, what the fuck? And I even you know what? I even was like, I gave you your first costumes, and this is how you treat me. All she did, Buckley.
Why are you getting so excited?
Go to your bed. Go to your bed. All she did was unfollow me. And I'm like, I'm on your fucking side right now. Because I was on her side with all the drama. I didn't think it was necessary for what happened. I didn't think it should have happened. It's not like I was on anyone's side, but what happened shouldn't have happened. And it was just like, dude, I can't believe I was like at bat for you and you unfollowed me. And I freaked out on her. And I want to tell her like, that wasn't my response. I don't like that. I don't like being that human. I don't want to be that fucking human again. And just because you don't want to be my friend because of who I'm around doesn't mean I'm going to stop giving people things. I give the girls things all the time. That's what my therapist said. She's like, one person burns you. Are you going to stop bringing shit to all the girls at the club and giving it to them or offering them free fire or doing that? Are you going to stop because one girl didn't take appreciation to it? I'm like, no, because that's not who I am. No. And that's who I want to fucking be. And I don't want to hold it against people. But that's what she does. My ex-friend would do that a lot and it rubbed off on me. And I don't want to be that human. So yeah, I am going to talk to this, like, and by that time I do talk to her, this episode's going to be out, so it's not going to be news to her in any way. But I'm definitely going to corner her and be like, I didn't like that. And I'm not going to message her because it doesn't need to be over message. It needs to be face-to-face. And I want to start being that person who does face-to-face. Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, being a reactive human it's normal as long as you know that. And like, it's something that you can work on. And I wouldn't say that you're overly reactive, but it happens that you can react to situations that bother, like there's just sometimes where you say something or do something and it comes off more than what you wanted it to. You're just like, I was either in a really bad moment that rubbed me the wrong way just because of things going on in my life. And I think we do need to give people a little bit more leeway in that, as long as it's not something they're always doing. Yeah. So yeah. And I think if you give a genuine apology, there's probably a lot of like mending that could happen there.
And I've sent the message and blocked her immediately. She may have never even sent it. She may have. And the thing is that I'm older in the industry. I've been around longer and she's a new dancer and I don't need to come across intimidating or anything or like, I just don't need to be doing that when we work together. Yeah. You know, I should have just let it be realistically because we were never close. And I don't think it would be appropriate for us to be close because of our age difference. And I'm fine with that. But I don't know. I took it personally because I was like, I did everything to be in your good books. Why aren't I? And that's because of who I hung out with probably. Or maybe there's another reason she'll tell me about when we talk. Maybe I did get on her bad side. Who the fuck knows?
And it does suck. Like there is also, I think you and I both, I think would there's some people that don't care if they're liked or not. Yeah. And I can, some days it would really hurt my feelings if someone didn't like me. But then there's other days where I'm like, I could give two shits. But like, you are somebody that like likes to be liked. You don't like it when people think bad about you or have anything that have negative thoughts because you're like, you see yourself as a good person. So do I. So it's like, why would you think anything else? So like, what is happening in your head? Damn it, I'm trying. What's happening in your head that's making you not like me? Yeah, you know? Yeah. So, yeah. So I think, just a conversation with her probably would go a long ways. But who knows, though? And if it doesn't, then it's just something that you got to cut off and just let be. We've had to do that with other dancers.
And like if she does feel this animosity and this is how we're already getting along, and we get along great at work. You know, we're at work. Yeah. How was your show? Have a good show. Like, how were they on stage? Did you have a good night? Like, I'm not going to be asking her personal questions about her life or anything like that, but it's not, we haven't been ignoring each other or anything.
Yeah, like this is actually news to me that I obviously incognito know who she's talking about just based on this information. But I actually didn't know that you guys still were not on like talking terms.
Well, like we talk at work,
but there's a little bit of like animosity still.
I feel like there's something, like especially tension, when I try and talk to her, she does the whole like avoiding eye contact and like head down thing, and maybe it's because she's mad at me, or maybe it's because I came off like a fucking cunt, you know? And that's just something I have to live with. Yeah, so you live and you learn, that's for sure. But
yeah, and that is how you become a better person, is by learning. You have to experience shit to learn and to grow and to be a better person. Like the best people that you know were probably some of the shittiest people prior to being a good person.
And all the really, really awesome chicks I know and work with, they always have the building block friends where you can see them becoming a better person. Yeah. And you half the time when you see them with their friends, you're like, how the fuck are they friends? And then when they're not friends, you're like, obviously, you know, because they two different wavelengths and everything. But I really believe that those people wouldn't be who they are without those troublesome relationships that did happen, which sucks. That's how learning happens. But
yeah. And that is, you learn how to deal with like different people, and then you either grow from it or it breaks you.
Absolutely.
So the way you react to situations and like the outcome of how you reacted, you need to learn from that. So, and we're always going to be learning. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how long you've been in the industry. Everyone is still learning.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's actually amazing that a lot of these younger dancers that are coming in, they have already done a lot of learning. Like, they're not as crazy as I think even I was when I was a new dancer. Like, I was a little cunt when I was a new dancer.
You told me stories about how you were, a shooter girl, and you're like, fuck her, look at me, or something.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was a hooter shooter girl. And the strippers hated me. I didn't care. I thrived off of it. Like, I was just like, fuck you, bitches. And I would tell guys, I'm like, look, if you take them for a lap dance, it's twice as much money, and you don't get to touch them. I'm like, you get to touch them. You get to touch me. You get a shot, and you get a titty rub. And they're like, sold.
Oh, God. Now the hooter shooter girls are going to be like,
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
In front row. Like,
oh, fuck
I was
me.
such a little brat. I also told Kelly Kane, and I'm sure she's cool with me saying this story because she likes to bring it up, that I was a new dancer, and I was like, these girls are too old and they need to move over and make room for the new girls. Like, I was basically told her that she was washed up.
Kelly Kane is also what, Miss Nude Canada something.
Like 3 times. She's a 3-time Miss Nude Canada. She's like a fucking feature champion. Like, she is a legend in this
Anya's
industry.
like,
and I was such a little bitch. Like, she came up to me. She was when I worked at Shade a couple weeks ago, she came up to me and reminded me about that story. She's like, you were the same age. You're the same age right now that you told me that. And I was like, yikes.
Oh my God. Oh, can you imagine someone calling us washed up?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like, I can't remember the exact words, but it was like in that kind of...
In that realm.
Even that realm of things, basically. God. I'm like, they need to retire.
Yeah, I haven't seen any snotty new girls like that. And if there's like 1 or 2, but then they don't end up working anymore.
Yeah, no, they don't become the next fucking features.
Yeah.
They don't make their way the way I did. Like, I was a fucking brat. I was such a brat. Like, the amount of shit that I would say is just insane.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. I'm so terrified of all the dancers. And yeah, you're ballsy, you're short and ballsy.
And Kelly did tell me, she's like, that comment actually rocked me. So it's like, to be fair, like, new dancers can still rock girls that have been in the game for a long time. She's like, I started thinking about, like, am I old? Like, should I start looking for another job? Like, all this shit.
I heard something about me that kind of rocked me, and it was like,
yeah, like when these new
and it was a new girl, yeah.
Yeah, they anyone's comments can hurt anybody, right? But yeah, like, so I feel like I've learned to keep the amount of times it was JP, our manager, is always on vacation when I stir shit up. And he's like, I always have to call you when I'm on vacation to tell you to stop fucking making.
So I gotta
comments.
book all my serious podcasts when he's on vacation. That's when it's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah, like, I used to have such a big mouth and such, like, I just had no empathy for what I was saying. And now I really, really, not only do I care because I don't want to hurt people's feelings, I really try and watch what I say, even though I said that thing to you the other day. But you're my friend, so you know I wasn't being a total asshole.
Which one? The skinny thing?
The skinny thing.
Oh my God. So she comes in the change room. She's like, you're looking so good. I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, you're looking so skinny. And I was like, thanks. I'm sad. And she goes, sad looks good on you.
I was really drunk.
It was fucking funny though. And we joke like that all the time.
Yeah. And I wouldn't just say that to anybody. I know that, like, when I tell you look skinny, you take that as a compliment. Like, I know nowadays you're not really supposed to comment on people's bodies.
Yeah.
So obviously now I've taken that into consideration. I'm like, I don't comment on people's bodies unless I know they like it. And yeah, we're really good friends, so you knew that I didn't mean any harm in that one.
Oh my God. Has a new girl ever said anything to you that's rocked you?
No, I feel like a lot of them think I'm nice.
I'll tell you what was said about me. And I know that this girl does listen to the podcast, and I want to say that there is absolutely zero animosity towards you. There is no hard feelings. I'm not telling you how I found this out or who I heard it from or anything. And I'm not saying
this tea.
I'm not saying who said it at all, but it was during Stripper Olympics. She's been in a lot of the contests, and she said, well, the only person I'm ever losing to is Molina Combat.
Oh, well, you know what? That's not even a bad thing to say. They just,
but it's like, why don't you see me why don't you see me as a competition? And like, it happens every year. Someone makes that kind of comment where it's like, oh yeah, Corella, whatever. Like, Molina's the one I got to worry about. And I'm like, I've won this thing.
Yeah, like,
I've done it a few times.
Anybody. Yeah.
But like, no one sees me as competition. And it's because I'm goofy and silly, and everyone's very like strong and has this crazy performance. But like, I rely a lot on my goofiness. So I get why people think they can outshine that, but you can't. Sorry.
No, personality goes way farther than tricks. And like, both of us, I think, not only do you have amazing tricks, you also have a really wicked personality. But like, we've seen that time and time again, that like personality on stage actually shines through way more than anything else.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of girls look up to Molina though. And it is because she's fucking incredible.
Oh yeah. Fuck. Her legs do this. Like, how do they just...
She is probably one of the most amazing dancers to ever grace the stage. Mm-hmm. But so are you.
Aww.
And you're just so fucking different. So I feel like that... I don't know who said that. I actually don't. I'm not incognito knowing who that said that. But I feel like that person probably sees themselves more getting to what she... Like, more looking up to Molina because she sees herself in dancing that way. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like... She could never follow in your footsteps. Your footsteps are way too unique.
Whereas, you can try to.
Yeah,
We've seen it.
We've seen people try. We've also seen people try and do Molina stuff, and that doesn't go over well either.
Yeah.
Like, whole combinations. Like, the beginning of your whole show.
The whole show. Yeah. The whole thing. We
can tell that who you're watching.
Oh, my God. But at least she does make it look good. I got to say, it would be... I'm not trying to throw shade on anyone, but like some girls recently have been copying certain things, and like when it doesn't, things of mine and it doesn't look good. Oh, you're making me look bad. No.
But yeah, I think they just probably look up to like the style and the like stoicness and sexiness of her, because it is just such a...
She's like pretty and gorgeous, and I'm silly goofy, so I get why it's more...
it's just like Molina's type is probably more of a like... ideal stripper. Mm-hmm. Of like when people think of a stripper, they think of someone like her.
Yes.
Like they don't think of you until they see you, and then they're like, this fucking chick is cool. It's opened up my mind. So it makes sense that like that's who they see as competition, because that's who they picture themselves in.
Yeah. And it, like when I look at them, yes. Yeah, I can see them definitely, their show style like far more matches than my show style. And honestly, the people who usually try and copy my style don't make it too far.
They just, because your stuff is so unique, mm-hmm. which is so cool. I think that's such a cool thing to have. And yeah, you'll go down as like, you are already gone down as like such a legend, and you still will. Like,
I just want Darla status. Like,
dude, you have it. Like, you really do.
Man, I don't know yet. She was around for like 20 some years. Maybe.
Okay, but like people are... Unfortunately, we know who Darla is. I'm pretty sure if you were asked the new girls who Darla is, they're not going to know.
But they've heard of her.
Maybe, but they've also heard of Kelly Kane.
Yeah, true. And it's like even like I go to BC and I just visit a club. Girls like I've never even seen before.
Yeah, they know who you are.
They'll be like, oh my God, Carly Kraken's here. I'm like, oh my God, you know who I am. You're so pretty.
It's crazy. It is so crazy, because like you think that like you still have so far to go to make it to where those girls did. But I think you've even surpassed it. Honestly, I think you have. Like, you're probably one of the most well-known strippers in Canada.
We were going to talk about how she's going to cry for Tim, and I'm just going to cry for everything.
Yeah, like, you've done things that, like, nobody else has done. So, and, like, you have really fucking awesome shows, and I think it's actually incredible that you share it with so many people.
Thanks.
Aw, Corella.
Okay, on that note, we're going to go now.
Corella's going to go cry.
Yeah, I'm going to go cry. We are at Shade this week, even though when this is posted, it will be somewhere else.
We'll probably still be at Shade.
We'll probably still be at fucking Shade.
We're always at Shade.
Who knows?
Maybe the Liquid Zoo.
Or Calgary.
I don't really go there.
Oh, I do. I love Calgary. Anyway, thank you for listening to us bitch, moan, gab, and gossip. Ooh, I should put that at the end of every... That worked. I think that's going to be our exit every time.
Good little tagline.
Goodbye from me, Corella, and...
Honey Woods.
Follow us on our socials, subscribe and like, and all that good shit. Bye.